Alright, so in polygon modeling, you really need to think about what you're doing before you start doing it. So an example, if I'm going to model a table or a chair or anything like that, I need to think about how I'm going to use the pieces that I've got. So an example would be if I'm going to create a chair with this piece, I'm not going to create individual pieces. It's just not, it doesn't create a good product. There would be a lot of overlapping polygons that don't get seen. So if we're going to do an editable poly here, the first thing I'm going to do is right click, convert to an editable poly. And I'm going to manipulate the geometry that I have. I'm going to hit Alt W here so you can kind of see it from a larger view. And the first thing I'm going to do is just grab these middle pieces here and spread them out further like that. And then I'm going to grab these pieces here and I'm going to spread them out like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side here. And just basically I'm scaling these pieces out. I'm scaling these pieces out here. And so once I get kind of that base platform here, if you will, you can see I've already got kind of the base of what I need. So in this case, what I would do is I would go through and grab the pieces that I'm looking for. So in this case, I would grab the corner pieces, and I'm going to extrude those out by hitting right click and extrude. And I can simply just force that out like so. Okay. Then what I can do is I can create another extrude here, or if I wanted to create something a little bit more complex, I would actually create it inside of here. So I've got my base, my seat here, and what I can do is I can use the existing geometry that I've got to kind of manipulate the shape that I'm going for. And the big thing is create what you need and then modify the shape and form, and from there you'll get what you're looking for. And I'm going to use this bar here to scale, and you can see I just kind of round out that corner. I'm going to take this inside chair here, and I'm going to actually go in the edge loop. I'm going to just grab this and I'm going to ring it all the way around, and I'm going to scroll down here, and then we use the connect tool. And when I do the connect tool, I can do the number of segments. So I'm just going to add 2 segments, and then I can pinch, but I'm going to do higher. So I'm going to pinch here like that. And if I hit the plus button, what that does is it adds 1, and I'm going to add another one here, and I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to hit the check button. So now that gave me these kind of 4 corners here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go through and go into the polygon mode here, and I'm going to grab these corner pieces and delete them. And the reason I'm going to delete them is because when I extrude out new corner pieces here, it will basically delete the geometry that I've got. And so I'm just going to grab these 4 corners here, and I'm going to extrude. Let's go back to polygon, make sure I got my 4 corners, right click, go to extrude, and I'm going to just extrude those out like this. And so that's going to give me these pieces here, and I'm just going to go through and kind of click the outer corners, if you will. And then with the outer corners done, I'm going to simply grab the ends again. Oops. And I'm going to move this upward and get it roughly close, like so. Then from there, I'll connect those later, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to extrude again, and I'm going to extrude those down like so, and that's my base of my seat. And I can go through and add in other pieces. So an example would be going back into edge mode, grabbing this, and let's do connect again, but instead of skewing it in this direction, let's skew it down. So I've got that as a skew, and I say OK, and I'm going to grab this piece here in the polygon, and I'm going to grab the opposite piece in the polygon, and I'll probably do both sides since it's just easier, and I'll inset that. And because it's so small, I'm just going to inset it a little bit tiny like so, and hit enter. And so now that inset in there, what I can do is I can scroll down and use, let's see here, let's use bridge, and that'll snap two pieces together like that. And so that gives you kind of the piece that you're looking for. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these edges up here in edge mode, grab this, and we're going to do a connect again. And we're not going to do it so small. We're going to just kind of like that. And then this here will scale it up and down. So I'm just going to scale it down like this. And I'm going to hit check on there. And I'm going to go to Polygon, grab these two again. Like so. And we will inset again. And because it'll save the last time you've checked it, I don't need to change the numbers. And then I'm going to bridge that back. And so there gives me kind of that chair. Now I can manipulate the vertices here. So say I wanted to grab this and kind of push this chair back a little bit. I can slide that back and grab the edge loop again. And let's do connect real quick. And this time I'm going to just bring it down to 1, bring it to 0, and I'm going to bring it to 0. Oops. There we go. 0, and I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to grab that corner like this, and that's going to bend the legs. And then from there, I can actually chamfer this by using the chamfer button here. Alright, go from chamfer, I'm going to use the settings, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab the settings here, make sure that your chamfer is on a quad package, and then everything else looks okay. And so I'm just trying to bend that a little bit. I'm going to hit enter, and then what I can do is go into front view here, zoom down and grab a couple of these pieces and kind of just adjust them accordingly. So you can see that simply grabbing those pieces like that. And then we're going to go back into perspective here, and you can see I've got kind of that stool going on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these two polygons like so. I'm going to extrude them upward. In fact, I'm just going to grab them and kind of angle them back a little bit, and then I'm going to extrude them outward again here like that. And then I'm going to grab these edges here, extrude them forward, grabbing this and this piece. I'm going to just bridge that together, and then grab this edge, control, and this edge, and extrude those outward. And I can bring those forward like that, and then I can start kind of manipulating the shapes. So in this case I would go in and grab the edge mode, so I hit 2 to go to the edges, grab these, scroll down and ring them, and then let's just chamfer real quick. I don't know, sorry, not chamfer, let's connect real quick, and then with that connect in place I'm just going to kind of round out that edge a little bit more. And so you can see how building a chair or something similar allows you to create something very simple, and it's all in one piece, and you just need to think about the tools that you're using. And there's a lot of things that I can keep working on this I could round the corners on here. I can, build in more detail and more depth. But ultimately, it's about thinking about what your form is and building it according to that.